The next three problems will refer to the given information here. We have given two graphs. The first graph is about the expenditures per student. So it tells us about how much the expenditures of every student for every 5 years. And the second graph is about the total expenditures of the Central City School District for every 5 years. And now let's first solve the question 12. In 2005, 80% of the Central City School District's total expenditures came from local school taxes, and the rest came from the state government's aid to school program. If the state had reduced its aid to the district by 50%, by what percentage would local school taxes have had to be increased in order for the district to maintain the same level of expenditure? So this problem tells us that the state had reduced its aid by 50%, and they want to have the same level of expenditure. It means that the school taxes need to be increased, and they ask us to calculate how much the school taxes need to be increased in percent. And the percent of increase can be calculated as the difference of the new number and the original number divided by the original number times 100%. So from this formula, we can see that to solve this problem, we don't need any information from the graphs, but we need to find what is the percentage of the school taxes after the aid program is reduced. And the original number of school taxes has already given in the problem. It is said that 80% of the total expenditures came from local school taxes. It means that the original school taxes is 80%, and since the rest of the total expenditures is for aid program, then the original aid program is 20%. The state reduced the aid program to the district by 50%. Reducing by 50% means reducing it by a half. So if previously they have 20% for aid program, then a half of 20 is 10%. So since now we have 10% is from the government's aid, then the school taxes is therefore 90%. And now we have already had the value of school taxes, the new value and the original value. Then we will use these two values to calculate the percent of increase. And we just need to substitute these two values into our formula. So we have 90% minus 80% divided by 80% times 100%. And 90% minus 80% is 10%. So we can simplify the percent since the percent is actually divided by 100. So we can calculate 10 divided by 80 times 100%, which is equal to 12.5%. So the answer for this problem is B. Next, we can move to the second question. From the graphs, it can be inferred that the number of students in the Central City School District in 1990 was closest to which of the following? So in this problem, we are asking to calculate the number of students in 1990 using the information from the graph. In the first graph, we have the information about the expenditures for one student, while in the second graph, we have information about the total expenditures of the Central City School District for every 5 years. And the total expenditures of the Central City School District is actually the product of the expenditures of one student and the number of students they have in that year. So we will use the information from these two graphs to solve this problem. And since we just want to calculate the number of students in 1990, we just need to look at the graphs in 19 and 90. And from the first graph, we have that in 19 and 90, the expenditures of one student is $10,000. So we can write the expenditure of one student is $10,000. And from the second graph, we have in 19 and 90, the total expenditures of the Central City School District is $25 million. So the total expenditures is $25 million. And the number of students, therefore, can be calculated as the total expenditure divided by the expenditure of one student. So we just need to substitute the values, which is $25 million divided by $10,000, which is equal to 2,500. So the number of students in 19 and 90 is 2,500, which is B. Now we can move to the last question. Based on the information in the two graphs to the nearest hundredth of a percent, by what percent did the number of students in the Central City School District increase from 1985 to 1990? And to find the percentage of increase of the number of students, we need to find what the number of students in each of those 2 years. And using the same method as the previously problems, that the number of students can be calculated as the total expenditure divided by the expenditure of one student. And first, maybe we can find the number of students in 1985. We can see from the graph that the total expenditures in 1985 is $15 million, while the expenditures of one student is 8,000. Therefore, the number of students will become 1,875. In 1990, the total expenditures of the Central City School District is $25 million, and the expenditures of one student is $10,000. And dividing 25 million by 10,000, we get that the number of students in 1990 is $2,500. And using these values, we can calculate the percentage of increase using the formula that we use in the first problem, which is the percentage of increase can be calculated by the difference of the new number and the original number divided by the original number times 100%. And since we want to find the increase from 1985 to 1990, then the original number will be the number of students in 1985. So we substitute our values into this formula. We get that 2,500 minus 1,875 divided by 1,875 times 100%. Then we get this value, and we can calculate this value to get the result is 33.33%. So the answer for this problem will be B.